Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is a weekly love reading for the week of May 17th through to the 13th. Okay. So love reading, love relationships. Okay. I'm getting this is going to be more for those who are involved with someone or have a potential love interest. This isn't so much for singles, although it could be, but we'll see. Let's see what the cards would like to share for this week. This is quite interesting. Let me take a look at it for a little bit and see what the cards are saying. The center card is the Eight of Swords. Okay, so feeling. I'm gonna let you handle this one. As you can see, she's surrounded by swords and she's blindfolded. However, her feet are not bound. So there may be a feeling of being let me get deeper into that. There may be a feeling this week of being bound by insecurities or fears or doubts or thoughts or negativity. But as her feet are not bound, okay, you are not actually trapped by these things. They are not controlling any aspects of your relationships or your love life, okay? It just may seem that way. It may look that way. You are blindfolded, right? It may look that way. So from the center card alone, I'm getting concerns. It may be a week when certain insecurities in your relationship might come to the surface, or certain past happenings. Let's say something, excuse me, in the past has happened either within your existing relationship or a past relationship, something that may have a little bit of conditioning power. So let's say, for instance, in a past relationship or even dating situation or love interest, let's say someone really evoked a certain feeling in you and there was a breaking of trust or a negative feeling. It seems that this week, whatever that may be stirred up again. Okay, and there may be a feeling of being I don't like to use the word trapped, but let me elaborate. When you, let's say, are insecure that your partner is not being faithful or is not being truthful, let's say that truthful, or is lying about something, it may seem very consuming, these thoughts, and it may seem like you're trapped by them, because at the end of the day, there is no way for you to actually find out the truth. What is required of you is to trust your judgment, to trust yourself in trusting this person, and to trust your partner or potential love partner. Okay, so there may be a feeling of entrapment in this. Now what's interesting is to the left of that I have the Nine of Swords, which is the card following the Eight of Swords. Worries, concerns, looking at negative aspects or having negative aspects pop into your mind. There was a focus on there, an attention to that. Okay, and to the right of that, right, I have the Three of Cups. So a celebration, a temporary moment of relief or joy. It's very interesting. It's almost like because I have here the Nine of Swords, the Eight of Swords, worries and feelings of being engulfed in certain negative emotions or insecurities or fears or doubts, followed by the Three of Cups and the Six of Wands, feeling relief, feeling joy, feeling victorious and accomplished and content. But right after that, I have the Devil and the Seven of Cups. So again, negative thoughts or certain negative aspects. It's almost like a shift in your perception or a shift in circumstances or something in your love situation, maybe a word that is said or the way something is said or just timing might bring about those fears and doubts again, might make you look at things in a negative way, even lose hope or become desperate perhaps. Followed by the Seven of Cups. Too much, too much. Either there's too much going on in your mind, there are too many possible outcomes. Um, you know, you may be having concerns about a relationship, um, whether or not it's going where you would like for it to go. And, it could be this. Well, it could be this too, or it could be this. Oh my goodness, I don't know which one of them is true. And I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I don't know what's going on, or I feel a little lost or confused. I wish I had answers. So it's kind of like you may be teetering, tottering between being okay and being concerned or worried. Kind of like the scales are fighting for balance this week. The first three cards that popped up were very good ones. I mean, I had the Ace of Coins, the King of Wands, and then the Seven of Wands. So it seems like things at one point were going well. It was healthy, it was fulfilling, it was steady. There was vision, there was movement, there was rising above certain tensions and issues. And again, it seems like in that wave, you may be experiencing, I like to use a metaphor of a radio wave or a microwave. In order to maintain that stability, that balance, it goes up and down and up and down and up and down. It can't just be linear, a straight line, because then there'd be no point in living at all. There would be nothing to experience. So it seems like this week, you were a high, you're coming down to the bottom of that wave, a little jump up, and then again to the bottom, okay? Because it looked like things were going well in terms of whether it's in your relationship or how you feel within your relationship, right? Vision, movement, health. Um, you were overcoming certain things, and then there's this wave of worry and concern, a wave of insecurity perhaps, and it looks like there may be some uncertainty. Am I being insecure? Am I being paranoid, or do I actually have reason to believe that this relationship may not be where I think it's at, or this relationship may not be going where I would like it to go? Or am I being paranoid that my partner is being a certain way? Because when our perception, when our ego, when our mind, right, soars, when it wants us to believe something, everything can look bad. One day your partner can be loving, honest, truthful, and the next day they could say the exact same thing the exact same way, but they're lying. So at what point do I tell the difference? It almost looks like this week there may be, you may be confronted with certain issues, certain feelings of something is worrying you. And it seems very back and forth. Let me take a look at this again. I'm going to look at it this way because I do like reading them vertically as well. So Ace of Coins. Things started out well. It seemed healthy. It was on the right track. Followed by Nine of Swords. So there's worries, doubts, concerns. Could it be? Could it not be? Is it or isn't it? Is he or she, or is he or she not? Am I doing the right thing? Or should I, questioning, a lot of questioning, a lot of looking at things in a negative light, followed by the Six of Wands, a feeling of overcoming and victory and stability, and kind of like, okay, this worry has passed, right? But again, King of Wands, vision, leadership, excitement, you seem to have been going where you wanted to go in your love situation, followed by feeling that maybe it was there were mistakes that were made, or maybe you've put yourself in a situation that you're not comfortable with. And again, this could be looked at in a positive light as well. If you're in a love situation you're not comfortable with, that doesn't necessarily mean your instincts are telling you to get out. It could be uncomfortable because you are experiencing something for the first time, or there's something new that you are uncertain about, or there's something that is happening that may be triggering something old. Nonetheless, there may be a feeling of being entrapped. And right after that, I have the devil. So there are feelings of whatever you associate with the devil, things getting in the way, or distrust, or infidelity, or insecurities, or fears. So this feeling, this movement in this relationship, this forward movement, this vision brought you to a place where you are feeling uncomfortable. You may be feeling trapped. You may be feeling confused, like you're not seeing things as clearly as you used to see them. Okay, that's not to say that there is any truth to these things. Something is bringing to the surface, bringing to light this, and makes sense that it's followed by the devil. Okay, it's bringing out maybe your shadow aspects. It's bringing out again, insecurities, fears, doubts, something that is uncomfortable as well. And I'm not getting this for the majority of you, but as well, the devil often represents temptation. You may be tempted to stray. You may be tempted to participate in a bad behavior, because naturally when we feel uncomfortable or trapped or in a place of uncertainty, we want to do something that can kind of bring that relief, bring that sense of identity back, something that is purely for us in reaction to feeling this discomfort, a temptation of sorts. Okay, and then along this line, Seven of Wands, again, it seems like things are moving great. You were overcoming things in your relationship or with your potential love interest, and rising above and kind of seeing things a little more clearly, followed by a joy or a happiness or celebration that seems short-lived, followed by again this overwhelming, did I jump in too fast? Am I giving emotions too fast? Or it's all so much. So again, there's a feeling of overwhelming or confusion or uncertainty. I will draw a few more cards, perhaps to get a little bit more clarity. And perhaps some guidance, because, I mean, there's not much guidance in what I've been saying. It's more like the back and forth. Okay, so I just had the Wheel of Fortune show itself to me, but it did fall back in the deck, so we'll see if that pops up again. But again, Wheel of Fortune, it's a cycle, it's a phase, it's like a wheel, it spins. Like the gears of a clock, they turn, right? So this could be a fear, insecurity that's coming up again, because like I said, there's this wave in your current relationship, in a past. If it seems like a new insecurity, which I'm not getting that it is, it may just be surfacing at this time. Okay, I'm not getting this is a brand new insecurity. I'm getting that it may be related to something in your past about difficulties with certain, if you look at the blueprints of your relationships with your parents or caregivers or siblings when you were young, it could be issues with trust or issues with vulnerability, or afraid to fail, something of this sort, that may be afraid of being betrayed or abandoned even, or afraid of being wrong. So I'm getting that this may be surfacing this week. Okay. Some guidance, please, for this week for love and relook. All right, this one. Okay, right. Five of Wands, a back and forth, a conflict, a difficulties maybe staying grounded. Inner conflict that may be reflected in your relationship. Bear in mind that when there is conflict or tension in a relationship, it's not so much it's not so much that the relationship itself, there's something wrong in the relationship itself. It's our internal worlds kind of battling each other. It may be that you see something as right, they see it as wrong, vice versa. It may be that one person thinks it's okay and the other does not. Oops, all right, that just literally slid out. It may be that simply difference of opinion or the way you see things. Oh, there's two there. So as it goes in the context of this, so I did have this one come out, right? There is conflict, there is uncertainty, there is something unstable, not necessarily in your relationship. Please don't think that it's instability in your relationship. If there's instability in your relationship, the good news is it stems from an inner part, which means you can work on this inner part. You can work through or access this inner part, which will give you insight onto why there is instability in your relationships. Okay, now I had these two cards pop up. King of Cups. So you want love. You want universal love. You want stability. You want for things to work out. You want it to be well. You want to be loved. You want your partner to be loved. I mean, this can be interpreted in a variety of ways, but the love is there, or the desire for love is there. And again, you don't need a reader to tell you that, because everybody wants to have great love, you know, with family, with friends, with their work. Followed by the Knight of Coins, slow and steady. So it looks like in order to get to this place of slow and steady, of universal love, okay, it's going to take, it's not going to happen overnight. I mean, whatever it is that is surfacing, whatever negative feelings or distrust or loyalty or insecurities, doubts, fears, whatever it is that is surfacing this week, you're not going to get rid of it very quickly. Okay, because no matter how reassuring a partner or relationship can be, when we are plagued something with negative thoughts, with negative emotions or insecurities, nothing can calm them but ourselves. Okay, so again, I'm getting up and down, you know, inner conflict, desire for love and peace, but slow and steady. So it looks like you may have to put in some work this week, or at least, I mean, it will pass simply because your goal is for it to pass. So already it is, you know, the intention is for it not to be there. We don't want this discomfort, right? So it will pass inevitably. But it seems like there may be temporary reassurance or convincing on your part or on your partner's part, and then you dive back into feelings of uncertainty or whatnot. So again, the good thing about this is it's all within your control. It's all within, again, our outer worlds are reflections of our inner worlds. So the good news is you want something on the outside to change, something on the inside has to change. And you are always, always in control of that. You always have access to your inner world. So let's see if I can get anything else. Okay. This is, I do want to get more. I feel like there's more. Okay. Anything else for love for this week? For those who are watching, please. Let's do guidance. Guidance and advice. Okay. Right. King of Coins, stability, security. Oh, this is interesting. Knight of Swords. And then Knight of Cups. A lot of knights and kings. Okay. Guidance. King of Coins. Stability, security. Okay. Feeling supported. It may help to get through any periods of doubt, insecurity, fears, uncertainty by looking for a place where you feel secure and stable. Okay, dive back into a hobby or speak your mind the way you are comfortable speaking your mind. Do whatever it is that has served you in the past to bring that feeling of stability or security. You know what I mean? Go away for a weekend by yourself, read a book, spend some time away from a partner or a relationship if that's what you need to kind of clear your mind, or whatever it is that has served you in the past. It looks like you are being encouraged to do that again. Work through your issue. You know what? Have that glass of wine on the evening, watch some movies, have a couple beers, whatever it is that really will help you get back into your vibes. Okay, whatever that is. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is often a character of rash and aggressive and forward movement. Now, what I'm getting is not to be impulsive, not to be just impulsive is what I'm getting. There may be an impulse to behave a certain way in a relationship or with a potential love interest. There may be an impulse to cheat. There may be an impulse to lie. There may be an impulse to be explosive and emotional or confrontational. Do not be impulsive. If at the end, when you find this place of security, stability, okay, and you are in that place where you're sure of yourself, you're thinking clearly, if after that, the impulse still remains a decision that you feel would be for your betterment, then you can go for it. But do not be impulsive, do not be rash, okay, is what I'm getting with this card. Followed by the Knight of Cups. As well, do not be too follow your heart or just emotional fulfillment or immediate gratification without guidance. Again, find that place where you have the most clear mind, clear state of being. Do not be too rash, too impulsive, but at the same time, do not be too, oh, well, I'm going to follow my heart because that's what I want. Okay, there needs to be a balance between these two. And it may even be that this is the inner conflict, right? That's going on inside. You want to be impulsive, but at the same time, your heart may be telling you not to, or your heart may be telling you something else, but there may be urges for something. I'm getting a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of contrast in this reading. I mean, Knight of Swords with Knight of Cups, mind versus heart, a sword versus a cup, a weapon versus something you drink from, emotions versus mental thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Followed by swords, and then victory, and then cups, and then the devil, and then being overwhelmed. So it's kind of like back and forth. And I'm for sure that's why this card popped up. There is something that may seem like a conflict. Now, the interesting thing about this is they're wands, they're knaves, they're sticks, basically. It's earth. So it's not dangerous. It's something that seems to have gotten out of hand. Okay, it's not going to injure you. It's not going to harm you. These aren't swords. Okay, these are sticks. So it is something that may have gotten out of hand, an insecurity that may have gotten out of hand, or overanalyzing, overthinking, or the timing was bad and it just happened to catch you on an off mood or off day. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna pull one more card to sum this all up for this week. This is a very long weekly reading. Typically they don't go this long, but I felt the need to do that one more, please, to sum it all up for this week for love and relationships. Okay, one card to sum it up, please. Oh, I got the... Oh, no, I thought that was the Wheel of Fortune again. Okay. 10 of Coins. So, there is a... Right, okay. There is a desire to... Again, none of this will happen overnight. So there's a desire for stability, for, which I already mentioned, for stability, for a solid foundation in a love situation, whether it's with a potential love partner, with an existing relationship, or a solid foundation within yourself. I want to be confident. I don't want to have these insecurities or doubts, or I want to be this kind of person who is not affected by these things, who will not be harmed by these things. You are this person, but it seems like there may be back and forth. And commitment I'm getting. There's a desire for commitment, however, whatever form that may take from you, a commitment to, commitment looks different for everybody. For some, commitment is, um, you know, having date night every Saturday night. For others, commitment doesn't really matter when you have date night. It's a certain kind of understanding in a relationship. There's a desire for commitment. And as this came up as the sum card, overall, that is what this overall theme is in regards to. It's in regards to commitment. It's in regards to being committed to or committing to someone else. So these concerns or these negativities or these thoughts are coming about because there is a desire for commitment, for something solid, for something you can be sure and certain about. Okay, and I'm getting that's kind of what these mental swords are all about. So that's what I have for this week. I hope that was helpful. Would love to hear your feedback. And thanks for tuning in. I will see you next week.